And proud history. Before Charlotte was chartered and became an official city, black firefighters were on the scene to help families during house fires back in the 1800s. They were known as the Neptunes, named after one of their most valuable assets, this hand pumper. They served the city of Charlotte until 1907. It would, though, be another 60 years before the Charlotte Fire Department hired its first African-American firefighter, Hazel E. Erwin. Now today, about 12% of Charlotte firefighters and 28% of support staff are black. The Progressive Order of the Firefighters of Charlotte work with the community to make sure the people on the fire trucks look like the community they serve. Our photojournalist Gregory Simpson uses his camera to show us the group's work to diversify the workforce.
Charlotte Fire Department is one of the best fire departments in this country. Class 1, ISO 1 rated, accredited fire department. And we provide a service to nearly 1 million citizens, well over 1 million citizens and visitors to the city. Prior to the Civil War, enslaved African Americans assisted with fire suppression. After the Civil War, they participated as volunteers and formed 2 African American companies, the Yellow Jackets and the Dreadnoughts. From there, the Yellow Jackets were later named the Neptune. The history is important because you need to know where you're going, you need to first start to learn where you're from. And for people to be dedicated to the community way back in the 1850s says a lot about the culture of the Charlotte Fire Department. Fraternal Order of the Progressive Firefighters of Charlotte. And so that is a local chapter of the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters. Progressive firefighters help out quite a bit with recruiting. We're talking about diversifying the workforce here in the Charlotte Fire Department. So we are looking to recruit people of color as well as women to the fire service. The Charlotte Fire Department is predominantly a white male fire department, and the progressive firefighters provide a voice for African American firefighters or people of color. Again, to talk about diversity needs in the department, equity and inclusion issues can be addressed through the progressive firefighters when it comes to dealing with actual employment issues. It is important because all of us never really have been exposed to African American firefighters all the time. And so you don't think of that as being a profession that you could do or a job or public servant that you could become. And so when you see that, when you see the diversity, you see African American firefighters, and you know that you too can do that.
Being a role model in the community is a big deal. I think when you look at Charlotte, you look at its history and just where it is today, Charlotte is a melting pot. You got people from different demographics all over coming here, and I believe that with the African American community, I think it's about 35% make up Charlotte.
Being a role model is very important. I like to be a positive figure for everyone, adults as well as kids. I like to give them something to look forward to be involved with.
I think it's important to be represented when we're going out on these calls in the urban areas that, that black firefighters are representing, so that the people of the city can see people that they can identify with, someone that may, they can relate to, that may understand the cultural sensitivities that may exist.
Anytime we go out on a fire call, we're doing a form of recruiting. So if I'm in a grocery store, I'm talking to kids, I'm doing recruiting. If I'm on a medical call, once the call is through, I'm talking to kids to let them know that they can do this job also, and I feel that that's a form of recruiting.
Growing up, I had the distinct privilege of being around some firefighters in my life. Some people in my life that had a positive influence were firefighters, including my high school football coach was a firefighter. Well, progressive, I kind of look at it with the saying of iron sharpens iron, so to speak. A lot of like-minded individuals that come together to recruit, to promote, to develop firefighters in the Charlotte Fire Department, to have a good professional efficiency in different areas. Coming together, if there's areas where we may be underrepresented, so to speak, we come together and we work together to make things happen and to get everybody ready for the next level. Mental health, you know, jumping into that, having those tough conversations amongst ourselves as well as in the community. Just seeing that presence and seeing that movement, I just knew I had to be a part of it and add what I could offer to it as well. On any given day, a person is calling 911, it's the worst day that they're having and probably the worst experience. And they're looking to call on us, the firemen, to come out and help make things better for them. And I think that alone comes with a big responsibility and shouldn't be taken lightly. And I think that that is very rewarding to be called on to do something like that. And then also to be black and to be doing it in the black community with other young black boys, like my son who's a black boy, or other black people, and just in general, to be able to see that, I think is, it's remarkable, and I think it's gonna have an impact.
Great work that they're doing.